It is a really foggy morning, but it's so warm. It's like 68, 69 degrees, but super foggy. You can barely see the top of these mountains here we're driving by. So I'm following him down in the F10. I'm in the 60. We are going to drop off this car for the oil fitting and then come back home, and then I think he's going to go to work.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
That's an ISF. I remember when those things came out, everybody at the car shows told us, oh, this is the M3 killer. It's going to put the M3 out of business. 3 years later, the ISF was off the market. It's a really clean black E36. It's got M3 wheels, but it's not an M3, it's an auto. So the Apple Watch has cellular now, and I still don't really want one enough to go and spend $1,000 on it. Because I like these kind of watches.
Series 3. There's one with cellular at $399.
Pricing. Oh, there's one without cellular.
Has all the other great features.
Huh. It's pretty cool that they've been able to fit all that in there. The display is actually the.
At a new starting price.
Wait, they're keeping the Series 1, but the Series 2 is gone. That's weird. At least they can make it cheap, $250. But that's the bare bones one that I think gets scratched up. I'm ready for the iPhone news though. And we're back. So it was a little bit more than a fitting. It turned out to be the entire oil cooler. When they got the front bumper off, that's when they were able to see more of it and determine that it is the cooler. So we've got a new genuine BMW oil cooler in here. We've been back at the house all afternoon. I watched the keynote. I'll talk more about that later. We did a bunch of landscaping work. We're going to take the cars back now, get some dinner, and hang out tonight. It'll be a quiet night. I got up super early, so I don't know how long I'm going to last. It's 7 and I already feel a little tired. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up today. I watched the keynote this morning almost in its entirety. I got a phone call I missed when they talked about Apple retail stuff. I probably didn't miss much. Saw the whole iPhone thing, the iPhone 8. I don't know why it's an 8. It should be a 7S. It's a very incremental upgrade. They were not clear if the Face ID feature is going to be enabled or working on the 8. I've heard accounts stating that it will and saying that it won't. The iPhone X, iPhone 10 is seemingly the one to get if you're going to upgrade. What I like about that is it delivers the bigger display. People seem to want a 5.5, 5.8 inch screen for some reason. I don't know why. To me, the iPhone 6 Plus, 6S Plus, and 7 Plus have been phablets. You can't hold them in one hand. You can't use them with one hand. About 2/3 of the display is unreachable. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I had time with one, I would like the bigger display, but the iPhone 10 retains the smaller overall device form factor, but delivers the larger display in the way that the display is almost edge to edge. So maybe that'll be the best of both worlds. It'll fit in your pocket, but still deliver a bigger screen for whatever the hell you need a bigger screen for. Personally, the 5S is still my favorite iPhone. It was the right size. It was the right thickness. It had performance. The battery life was good. It just worked. That was such a good phone. The camera was fine. The 6 was a piece of crap. The 6S was better. And I've liked the 7 so far. If I get one, it'll probably be the iPhone 10. I don't like that they've done away with 128 gigs, 64 to 256. That's a factor of 4. That's a huge gap. And oh yeah, it's way overpriced. I used to pay $199 or $299 for a phone. They are now over $1,000. That's totally ludicrous and stupid, and Bobby will run out of breath explaining to me how it's the same price without the subsidies or some crap. It can't be the same price. I call total bullshit on that. I think we end up paying a lot more, then have to turn the device in. They're screwing us at every possible turn. I used to be able to sell my old one for $300 to Gazelle, and the new one was $299. I made $1 3 or 4 years in a row, upgrading a phone every single year. But I guess those days are over. Otherwise, Apple TV, whoop-de-freaking-do. It's 4K, no new remote, new processor. Yeah, probably be a little faster. It's not slow as is, but it can be laggy sometimes. I'm not going to upgrade. $179. I would rather spend on other things. What else? Apple Watch Series 3, don't care. Don't really want one. And iPhone 10, that was kind of it. So unfortunately, the iPhone 10 isn't available for pre-order until something like October 27th. That's a ways out. Whatever. E60 got a new oil cooler today and an oil change. We got a sample that's going out to Blackstone just so we know how things are. That'll get sent out tomorrow.
probably won't hear back. In the time I'm here, it takes them a while. It's going to be several days to Fort Wayne, Indiana, from all the way in San Diego. We did a couple hours of landscaping today. My dad worked about twice as long as I did or more. We de-leafed the whole front. That tree just drops a couple leaves every day, all year round for some reason, and they all end up in there. So we cleaned that out. It needs to be either mulched or filled with rock or ground cover or something. The mulch all gets blown away. So we're thinking we're going to put some black rocks in there. I don't know if we'll do that this trip or not. We got some fence painting to do here in the next couple days. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be fun. He's going to work tomorrow till late, so I'm going to have the day to hang around here and maybe work on some stuff. But I'm going to go sleep, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Wednesday Hump Day. Good night.